Hi everyone, how are you doing? I haven't been live for a couple of weeks now, and I am so happy to be back and chatting with you today. I don't know about you, but I have felt like it is an extremely emotional couple of weeks. There's been so much happening globally. Hi, Megan. There's been so much happening globally for us as in humanity, and there's been so much happening for me individually also. And so I've been having a difficult time, or a more difficult time, being able to focus my energy. My energy has felt quite scattered everywhere. Yes, there's so many things in my environment that are getting my attention, and so many distractions that are getting my attention that I would prefer to not get my attention. I also found myself perhaps not being as successful as I would like at certain projects and endeavors because my energy has been so scattered and so distracted. Yes? So what I would like to share with you today is a mantra, is an intention that I have been working with for the last 10, 12 days or so. I even shared this in my private group coaching course, Hello Joy. Yes? And so this mantra is, my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed. Yes, so you will have to determine for yourself the definition of success for you. I would encourage you to define success, if you will, as this sense of freedom, this sense of joy, and this sense of expansion. Yes, so everybody's going to have their own personal definition for what is success for them, for how they want to feel every day. Yes, and that is going to look unique, and it's going to look different depending on who you are. It might be feeling very healthy in your body, maybe earning a certain amount of money, maybe being in certain people's in certain people's company. Yes, but ultimately, what that's going to boil down to, really, for all of us, is this sense of freedom, joy, and expansion. This is really what every soul is desiring to experience for itself. Yes? So if you're plugged into the feeling of freedom, joy, and expansion on a daily basis, then you are most likely going to feel pretty successful. Yes? So if you're inside that feel-good feeling, then most likely you're also feeling successful. You're doing things in your life that are contributing to that feeling of success. Yes? You're talking to people who are contributing to that overall feeling of success for you. Yes, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling creative, the words you're speaking feel good. So in general, you're living inside this feel-good success bubble. Yes, so my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. So when there's so much going on around us, or when we're trying to pack too much into our day, it's as if our energy is scattered in many directions outside of us. And so we can become a little bit scatterbrained, if you will, or a little fuzzy up here. Yes, and then we find, because we're trying to do, let's say, 10 to 17 things, that we actually get nothing done very well. And we end up going to bed that night feeling quite disappointed in ourselves because we had grand intentions rather, of getting so much done, and yet we kind of got nothing done, or we got a couple things done, but we're feeling like we didn't get it done the way we wanted to. Yes, so we want to collect that energy back home. We want to pull back in that scattered energy. Yes, so we can focus on what really feeds our joy. Yes, and if we're focused on what brings us joy, and if we're focused on what feels good for us, then we automatically are in alignment, yes, with our truest self. Yes, and then we're going to feel like we are successful. So my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. So one of my number one tools for collecting scattered energy is just with the breath. Just with the breath. Yes? So we might start with even just holding the intention of, okay, first noticing my energy tends to be scattered everywhere. I'm feeling quite distracted, and I would like to pull that energy back into my core so I can better focus. Yes, so I can feel collected up here. So we can simply start with a deep breath. One deep breath, all the way in, and maybe hold at the top for 3 seconds, and then a long exhale out. And if you're still feeling panicked and you're still feeling distracted, then of course you can take another breath after that and then another breath after that. I think you will find as you give yourself that oxygen, yes, as we give ourselves that oxygen, we're pumping energy into our brain, yes, but we're also, as we're pumping the energy into our brain, we're collecting our scattered energy from everywhere it's gone, yes, everywhere outside of us, yes. So allowing our brain, yes, then to continue to physically relax, which helps our bodies physically relax, yes. So we're absorbing this beautiful universal energy that's also helping us collect our energy and bring it back home. Then from that place we can decide, yes, the 2 or the 3 things, let's say, maybe it's even just one thing for that day that we're most lit up about, that we're most excited about, and that we're just going to focus on that. Yes? And we have to choose this again and again and again, because life is going to pull at us and life is going to be distracting. And so we really have to put intention behind this choice. Yes, my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. So I really struggle with this sometimes as a mom, because very often I'm trying to watch Aiden and be a good mom to Aiden, but maybe then I'm also shooting off work texts, yes, or work emails, and I'm doing too many things at once. Maybe also I'm trying to cook dinner at the same time. Yes, I'm throwing a load of laundry in. I'm really wearing so many hats at the same time. But then I end up feeling absolutely exhausted and depleted, and I actually don't feel like a very good mom. I don't feel like a very good businesswoman, and I don't really feel like, let's say I'm trying to do things for my husband also, yes, to create a warm environment for when he comes home, but then I don't feel like a very good wife either, because I'm sort of haphazardly doing many things at once, rather just focusing on one thing for right now, or perhaps it's just 2 things for right now. Yes, so what I've been trying to do is, if I'm with Aiden, to just focus on Aiden as much as I can. Yes, so for these 15, 20, 30 minutes, I'm just going to devote all of my attention to Aiden. And then after that 30 minutes, I'm going to let him play a little bit on his own, so then perhaps I can do a couple things around the house. And then when I'm working and Aiden is in, let's say, daycare or with his grandparents, then I'm going to focus on being a businesswoman. I'm going to focus on my clients, yes. But even inside of that endeavor of my business, I have found that it has been very grounding for me to, before I go into anything that I'm doing that day, any work tasks, to really sit back and think about, what am I most inspired to do? What am I most lit up by right now? And then I'll write those 1 to maybe 4 things down, and then I'll go through that list in the order by which I am most enthusiastic, if you will, yes? And then while I'm doing that one thing, this is not always easy, but I very much try to just do number 1 on the list. Yes, so I try not to have many different windows open on my computer, or I try to turn my phone down so I'm not also looking at texts that are coming through at the same time that I'm working. And I find that when I can really, when my intention is to, and I actually allow myself to just focus on one thing at a time, one endeavor, that I do it really well. And by doing it in the way that I determine is really well, I do feel successful. And my energy feels so much more collected, and therefore I also feel so much more grounded. Yes, and then I therefore feel so much more focused. Yes, same thing with Aiden. When I'm with Aiden for just that half an hour, yeah, where I'm just focused on Aiden, I actually feel like a good mom. Or if there's things for me to do around the home, or things for me to maybe do that I would like to do for my husband, and I just do that for a concentrated 17, 20 minutes, whatever it is, then I feel like I've really done those things well. And then therefore I feel successful. So this is my encouragement to you, to work with this mantra and to work with this intention. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed. So if you're finding yourself in any given moment very distracted, if you're feeling like your energy is scattered, if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed, yes, then try to actually just say out loud, stop. Stop. The verbal command, like even just hearing yourself say stop. Yes, we almost respond to that as if somebody else is saying stop. That's how powerful it is. So simply just say stop. Stop, pause, right? And that's your way, that's our way, yes, of interrupting the scattered energy, the broken energy, yeah? And beginning the process of collecting ourselves. You just say stop. And then you can remind yourself, you can simply say this mantra, you can go, okay, yes, my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed. Yeah, and perhaps you even take a deep breath before that, or you take a deep breath after that, and then the next question you ask yourself is, okay, what would feel good to move into next? Not even what the mind thinks is the most important thing that we should move into next. But this is my encouragement to you to really think about, really feel into what would feel good to move into next. Then determine what that is for you, and then have the courageousness to follow that inspiration. Yes, to just focus on that next one thing. And then when you're done with that one thing, ask yourself again, what would feel good for me to move into next, right? So now you're into, let's say, the second thing. I've only done 4 things today. My old self would just think this is a colossal failure to have done 4 things. Yes, I usually would have 27 things on my list, yeah? And only after I checked off all those 27 things would I then allow myself to feel good about the human being I was being that day, yeah? That I was successful. But I would also feel just terribly overwhelmed and scatterbrained, and I would feel like frantic because my energy would just be everywhere. So today I've only done 4 things, and I'll tell you, I feel really good about those 4 things because I focused on them. Yes, this is actually the 5th thing I'm doing, and then I'm done with my day because I have to go get Aiden. And I guess that will be the 6th thing, right? Because then I'm going to go back to focusing on Aiden. So I see a bunch of ladies here. Thank you so much for joining me. So this is my mantra and encouragement for today. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed. So actually, now that there's a handful of you here, I would really like to answer any questions that you might have. So I'm going to scroll back a little bit. Megan, that's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Melissa. It's really good to see you. Melissa, will you let me know if you have any questions about this mantra or this intention, this encouragement? Because I'm happy to answer them right now for you if you're still here. Megan, love this. So need this work for right now. Yes, so not only having the intention, the knowingness, the mindfulness around my ability to focus is my ability to succeed, but also please keep in mind the tool, yes, the bridge to get into that focus. So how do I go from feeling distracted, yes, and scatterbrained and overwhelmed into a more focused, collected energy? Yes, because we can hold this intention of, we can have this knowing of, oh yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed. I've heard that before. That really resonates with me up here intellectually. I like that. I would like to align with it. And then comes, well, how do I do that? Yes, so I'm also trying to share with you a tool, a bridge, if you will, an energetic bridge, if you will, to more easily go from that scattered energy, that overwhelmed energy into that more collected focus energy. And it's just by taking that breath. It's just by taking that breath. Most of us every day underestimate the power of breath. Just one great deep inhale in, holding it for 3 seconds, and the deepest exhale out, just washing out all that toxicity, washing out all of that stress, and really resetting for yourself. I do believe if you practice this, you will really feel the rewards of it. So again, my ability to succeed, my ability to focus is my ability to succeed, and the tool for moving from that distracted, scattered, overwhelmed energy into that more focused, collective energy can be your breath. That great, big, beautiful, bountiful breath. Yes? Okay. So, Melissa, yes, I do need to, let's see. Yes, I do need to take a deep breath now and then. Melissa, I would encourage you to put some Post-its up around your home to remind you to take those deep breaths. Just the Post-it can simply say, take a deep breath now. Something like that. I've done this before because most likely, yes, you will forget to take a breath. I find that I forget to take the breaths too. I forget to utilize this tool as much as it's available to me. And so if you put this Post-it around in your home, let's say in your kitchen, let's say on the mirror where you do your makeup, maybe you even put it on the dashboard of your car, chances are is that you're gonna pass that Post-it note during your day at some point, and you're gonna need that reminder. You're gonna be like, oh my God, yes, I could totally do with a deep breath right now. I could absolutely benefit from taking a deep breath right now. So those Post-its are gonna trigger you, yes, into the reminder to take a deep breath. And then if you have these Post-its up for a little while, hopefully they will help you create the habit of taking a deep breath. Yes, and I do believe for you that if you can be in that practice of taking the deep breath and just collecting and focusing your energy, you'll also be able to more easily receive guidance and inspiration from life and from universe. Yes, that which is in your highest interest. Hi, Shanae, I'm so happy to see you. So Melissa, oh, good. I'm glad you think it. So your other question is, I do feel guilty when I step away from Isabella when I want to do something else. I try to release that guilt since, as you know, taking care of Isabella is really the most important thing. Yes, I can very much relate. Aiden is 3.5 years old. So as I was sharing earlier, I absolutely have, in Aiden's life and in my experience with him, have struggled with mommy guilt. Yes, so when I can make myself feel guilty for all sorts of reasons. Yes, that I'm not spending enough time with him, or it's not enough quality time with him, or am I doing enough for him? Was I attentive enough with him? You know, and sometimes it's funny, I struggle because when he's around, sometimes I find myself wanting to do something else. Like I'm trying to get those other things done too. Like, oh, I just want to respond to this client, or I want to shoot off that email to my assistant, or I just came up with a great idea for something and I want to go write it down. So sometimes with him, when I'm with Aiden, I find myself wanting to do something else. And then when Aiden's not here, I find myself questioning whether I was a good enough mother or not, which is why this practice is, which is why this mantra and this intention is so key, is so fundamental in helping us really tap into our overall sense of feeling good, right? Inside this mantra, we're really talking about it as a sense of success, yes, but as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, success really, in my estimation, comes down to experiencing the feelings of joy, expansion, and freedom. Yeah, so basically success is the feeling of feeling good. If I can tap into the feeling of feeling good on a mostly regular daily basis, then I would consider that a huge success, yes, in and with whatever I'm doing. So then, if we can harness, yes, the focus, if we can harness the intention to focus on what we're doing right now and bring the mind back from where it wants to go other than this present moment, we will find that, let's say, okay, I'm going to spend this 30 minutes, I'm going to spend these 60 minutes, I'm going to spend these 90 minutes with Isabella. If you just allow yourself, Melissa, to really focus, yes, on Isabella, and your love for her, your enjoyment with her, her happiness. Yes, if you really focus on her, look at her in her eyes, get down on the floor with her, just be creative with her, whatever she wants to do, wherever she wants to take you, right, in her childlike world. If you just focus on that for 60 to 90 minutes, then when the time comes for you to separate from her and do something else, because such is life, right? There are other things to do. We have other passions, we have other pursuits, we have other quote unquote responsibilities, yes? So when the time comes for you to step away from her and separate from her for a little while, you're not most likely going to feel as guilty about stepping away from her because you would have just really focused on her for those 60 to, in this example, 60 to 90 minutes. Yes, so the mind is going to want to push the story of, oh, well, you should feel guilty, or don't you feel guilty? You're not with her. You should be with her in every minute. No, but no. See, but we can also choose to just not go into that. Yes, it's also where we allow our focus to go. So if I allow myself to really focus on the guilt thoughts, the guilt loop, then it's going to grow this feeling of feeling guilty. Yes, but if I can, let's say the guilt feeling comes up, I now leave Aiden after focusing my attention on him, quality attention, but now I leave him to go do something else. If the guilt loop starts, I can interrupt that and say, no. I can even say, stop. Yes, stop. And I can think to myself, I can remind myself, wait, I just spent a really beautiful, a really lovely 60 to 90 minutes with Aiden, and he was so happy, and I was so happy, and he felt loved, and I felt loved. So what do I have to feel guilty about? I actually don't have anything to feel guilty about. And I'm going to choose to refocus my attention. Yes, I'm choosing to intend to refocus my attention on what I'm doing right now, on what is meaningful to me right now outside of Isabella. Yes? So this is what's so great about it, is that we can really begin to release this feeling of guilt that we're not giving enough to our career, that we're not giving enough to the partners in our life, that we're not giving enough to our children, or that we're not giving enough to ourselves. If we can harness the power to focus on any one of those given things when we're actually inside one of those things. Yes, the reason we feel guilty is because when we're trying to spend time with, let's say, partners or work or children, we're not really focused on the child, the partner, the work, or ourselves. We're trying to focus on the partner while also focusing on 5 other things, and it doesn't work. So we innately feel like I'm not doing enough. Because quite frankly, we're sort of not doing enough, right? Because we're not focused on the person or the activity of choice in that present moment. We're trying to focus on that person or activity choice while also simultaneously thinking about the 9 other things that we do. I hope that this is helpful. Melissa, can you let me know if this is helpful for you, if you're still here? So Melissa, I'll give you a second to just respond to that. So I hope that this is helpful for anyone that tunes into this later or anybody that's been listening. I have found it extremely helpful for me. My ability to focus is my ability to succeed, yes? And I am able to more easily shift into that collected focus energy simply by just taking a few deep breaths. When I'm noticing I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm noticing I'm feeling scattered, when I'm noticing I'm feeling distracted, if you will, yes, I can feel my energy just shooting in so many different directions. I simply say, stop, right? Stop. Rather than forcing myself to continue to go in any particular direction, I say stop, because it feels bad to feel that scattered, yes? And then I take a deep breath in, and I hold, exhale, and I give myself that moment to collect, and I remind myself my ability to focus is my ability to succeed. And then I say to myself, what would feel the best to move into next? What would really feel good to move into next? And then I do my very best to just move into that next thing. And while I'm doing that next thing, I do my very best to just focus on that one thing. And I tell myself, when I'm done with this one thing, then I will know what to do after that, right? Or then I will move on to the thing after that. Okay. All right. So Melissa, I hope that was helpful for you. I didn't see your response. Melissa, feel free to type your response if you do have one, and I'll pop into the group later and I'll reply to you even more then. But I do have to move on to picking up Aiden. So that's going to be the next thing I focus on. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, thoughts, or feelings, do type them under this video and I will answer you as soon as possible. Thanks for being here with me. Have a great rest of your day.